So I suppose you can think of this as another what I eat in a day video, but plot twist, I'm going to be eating nothing. Because my plan, my aim for the next 36 hours is to go through a period of water fasting, as I'm just curious and I want to see what the physical, mental health benefits are from going through a fast. And there's a number of reasons why I've never attempted a fast before.
I like hamburgers, I like hot dogs.
But it just dawned on me in the last couple of days that since being on Mounjaro, I've not had that excessive hunger, and my cravings and my kind of food control has felt much, much better in a very healthy way. And I just thought, maybe Mounjaro isn't only about weight loss. And just in case you are new here, hi, hello, my name's Rob. I have lost more than 107 pounds now since starting using Mounjaro last summer, alongside healthier eating, healthier habits, more exercise. So the time now is 6:20. I haven't yet had dinner, and I am going to have dinner today. Today's been a very normal day for me. I've not eaten anything particularly different. My dinner for tonight is planned with attempting a fast in mind. So I'm having a higher protein, more filling meal, less fats, less heavy carbs, and I'm going to have some protein yogurt afterwards as well, with a plan that from 7 p.m. I'll then start my fast, and I will fast all the way through tomorrow, which will be Friday, and through until Saturday morning, when I'll then break my fast at around 7 a.m. So 36 hours. I probably should have got a bit more organised with like food and stuff first, but I'm going to have that in a second. But how am I feeling about starting this fast? Because I've chosen to do this. Nobody is forcing me to do this. I'm nervous about the mental battle. It's not so much a hunger, because I have been eating less naturally whilst using Mounjaro and losing weight, so my hunger isn't there as much normally now, and I'm feeling good about where I'm at with Mounjaro at the moment, which helps me to control that side of things. I think it's more the mental bit I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about failing doing it. Am I going to just really suffer and hate doing this? If I really suffer and hate doing this at any point, I know that I can stop. I'm choosing to do this as something that I think could be really beneficial and positive. So I just need to keep that framed in my mind. This is a choice, and actually every hour that I succeed in fasting and doing this, my body is cleansing itself and it's getting healthier. And I think I just need to keep reminding myself of that. This isn't a hunger strike. This isn't a starvation. This is a cleanse with no pipes up the bum. But as much as I feel nervous, I also feel quite excited about it. I have been thinking about it quite a bit, certainly the last week or two. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube and other people who talk much more eloquently and with expertise about fasting than I do. So I will link to some videos that I found really useful. In particular, this guy, who not only produces really, really good videos, but the information he packs into them while still being really accessible is hopefully going to help me through these next 36 hours. I'm not sure this needs saying, but just to put in a disclaimer, if you are considering doing any fast yourself, please do your own research, make your own decisions, and if you have any concerns about any underlying health issues or reasons why it may not be safe for you to do so, speak to your GP, speak to a health professional. Do not rely on me or anyone else on the internet. As I've said, I've had a number of blood works recently. I've had blood pressure taken, so I'm really confident that actually my health is fine. I've got no reason to be worried about this. I also know that my Google Pixel Watch, not a sponsor, but this includes a heart rate monitor as well as a heart rhythm, and if I was to suddenly have a fall or it detected anything in changes, it can call emergency services to my location. I mean, I've not put it to the test, and I'm not planning to in this video, but I do wear this all the time. So again, if suddenly something comes up that was seeming unexpected or unsafe, then I've got a chance to do something about it. And if I was to collapse, for example, well, somebody at some point would hopefully discover me. Anyway, 6:40 p.m. My dinner's over there. I need to go and eat it because otherwise I'm going to fail in the first hour. So, right, Yeah, I should have thought to have showed you. Too late now. But so for my dinner, before starting my fast, I had a smoking chicken and chorizo paella. It was a very nice, it was very tasty. Good high proteins. It's from the Healthy Living range from Morrison's. And it was also high in fibre and fruit and veg. So for my last supper, that felt really good. It's not going to leave me craving anything in the next hour. It's also not going to be overly spicy and lead to me sitting on the toilet for the next 36 hours. So with 10 minutes to go now, I feel like I'm on the crystal maze. You know, when the timer starts to tick down and you're like, quick, what can I have? Get out. So I'm going to have a yogurt. Might sneak in a little Kit Kat or a Freddo as well, just to make sure I've got my little sweet fix to finish the day. And then we'll be pressing that button and starting the fast. And there we go. It has just turned 7 p.m.
And may the odds be ever in your favour.
So I am using an app called Zero to track my fast. I have never used this app before. There's no affiliation. Can't speak to how good it is or not. It might crash halfway through, who knows? But I thought I would just try it and see. So starting 7 p.m. on Thursday, going through until 7 a.m. Saturday morning. I am currently 100% of time remaining. Maybe a nice little countdown will help. So, right, now what do I do? So let's set out the rules for the next 36 hours. Number 1, very obviously, no food. I am doing a fast, which means I'm not going to be eating anything, not a lick or a nibble of a morsel of a crumb. What I can have through the next 36 hours is water, sugar-free squash, black coffee, herbal teas, and make sure I get my electrolytes. And that's something that comes up quite a lot in watching and reading about fasting. People saying electrolytes can really help just to keep you going and to stave off any sort of hunger, headaches that you might get as well. I've been taking electrolytes anyway for the last 9 months since starting taking Mounjaro, and especially whilst exercising. So I've got plenty of different options in, but apart from that, nothing else. No smoothies, no soups, no fruit juice, just water, sugar-free squash, coffee, tea, electrolytes. That's the plan. I am on Mounjaro, but my next shot day would not be due until Saturday, and I'm not going to change it. So I've not done anything in advance of this different to as I have been before, and I'm not bringing my shot day forwards. So whilst I still have some Mounjaro in my system right now, I've not taken a shot today to give myself like peak suppression. I'm very certain that Mounjaro will still continue to support me anyway, and Saturday morning is when I take my next shot. Saturday morning will also be when I break my fast. And finally, through this whole period, I just want to try and keep a normal routine. I'm still going to go out for my walks at lunch and after work like I normally do. I'm still booked in for spin tomorrow morning. I think that'll be fine. Saturday morning will be time for park run, but that will be after I break my fast. So I'll have something small before that. I'll see how I feel. I would like to still go and do park run, but I am going to be sensible about it. So I will be checking in regularly throughout the next 36 hours. I'll be telling you how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, the highs, any lows. I'll be very honest with you about any struggles, whether or not I start hallucinating about Kit Kats and Freddos. But I'm going into this with a very positive mindset. I feel very optimistic, and hopefully I'll still feel like that in 35 and a half hours time. So it's just gone 6 a.m. I am 30% of the way through this 36-hour fast, and so far so good. But the reality is, up until this point, there's been very, very little change because I had my dinner last night. I didn't have anything after that, so there was no kind of late evening chocolate fix or anything. But then I've slept through the night, I slept as well as I normally do. I don't think there was anything really to note. I've woken up feeling just as tired and ready for the day as normal. and I'm starting my Friday as I normally do. Getting up, getting ready, and getting to do my early morning spin class. But I think the next few hours are going to be fine. I think the challenges today really are going to be when it comes to my lunch break and then when it gets to the evening, because of the times where I normally would be eating and I won't be. But we'll cross that bridge in a few hours when we get to it. For now, I'm fine, so let's go and do a spin class. So interestingly, I was going to have a liquid IV, which is one of the hydration sachet powders that I quite often will have after I've done like an exercise class. But I thought to myself, let me just check, because I do know that liquid IV does have, I think, some sweetener or sugar that's added in just to make it taste better compared to some of the other electrolytes, powders and tablets you can use. So I just thought I'd check online and see what people's views were around liquid IV in a fast. And I'm glad I checked, because it turns out most of people's opinions were actually because of the sugar and the small calorie content that it has in the sachets, that would break your fast, which then means that your body would not be continuing to progress through the fasting stages and all the rest of it. So very glad that I checked that beforehand, because imagine if afterwards I checked and then found out that, oh, actually I hadn't done it. So instead I've gone with a Vidrate hydration sachet, which has no added sugar and no added sweeteners and bits, which seems to be fine. So still getting some electrolytes in this morning after my spin class. Feeling good. It's just coming up to 8:30. I do really think that the next few hours are going to just be fine, and I know that I've got plenty to be getting on with at work to keep me distracted. Right. Oh. Right. Let's get on with the day. So unexpectedly, I ended up on a 3.5 hour meeting. My voice feels very, very croaky. And it wasn't just me talking, although I could easily talk for 3.5 hours, I'm sure. But, 3.5 hours from 10 a.m. until 1:30. Now, normally I would take my lunch break, I'd try and take my lunch break from 12 till 1. So, went all the way through my lunch break without even thinking about food, or that I would normally be having something at that point because of being on that meeting. I'm exhausted now though. However, I've gone on to the Zero app just to have a look, and I'm now over halfway through my fast. So I'm on 48% remaining, 17 hours, 21 minutes to go. And I'm not even struggling in the slightest at this point, which is really positive. I do feel thirsty, so I'm going to make sure I go and get a top up of my drink. And then I'm going to go for a quick walk around the block, I think, before coming back for even more work. Honestly, too much work for a Friday. It's 3:30 p.m, which means I'm well past the 20-hour mark. And I have been just for the last 15-20 minutes really questioning my life choices. In particular, questioning why I'm doing this. And I'm like, I could just eat. Or I could eat tonight and just do a 24-hour fast, because that would still be good. And I don't know that I'm feeling like hungry in my stomach, but I feel like I'm feeling very hungry in my mind. I feel like my brain is saying, come on, eat something, you haven't done it yet today. And normally by this point I have had food, so I'm definitely now at the point where this fast is really kicking in and it's changing or disrupting my normal habits and my normal patterns. And the way I'm feeling right now is exactly why I thought I'd save it until now to go through what the health benefits are from doing a prolonged water fast, in the hope that sharing it with you will also refocus me and remind me of the reasons I came into this, because right now I'm a bit like, I could just delete this whole video and no one would ever know. It will come as no surprise whatsoever but I am not an expert in fasting or nutrition or diet or anything like that, which is why I've made some notes to make sure that anything I say to you about the science of fasting is as accurate as I can be. I will be reading from some notes here. So one of the things about fasting, but once I started reading about it, really ticked some boxes for me, and which kind of motivated me to give it a try, was when you reach a stage of autophagy, which is from the Greek meaning self and eating. It's a real and scientifically proven process by which your body cleans out damaged cells, recycles parts, and regenerates healthier cells. It also is linked to anti-aging benefits, disease prevention, and it supports better blood sugar control and fat metabolism. So it supports good metabolic health. So it sounds like there are lots of benefits to doing a fast. And definitely from when I was reading, there are lots of different fasting periods that you can do. You can do the intermittent fasting. So you might decide in a given day you're only going to eat for a set period of time, whether it be 8 hours. So you might say, right, from 12 until 8 p.m. is my eating window, and I'll eat normally during that time, but I won't eat after 8 p.m. until 12 the following day. There are also smaller windows. So you might say, I'm going to do 4 hours, but I'll be eating normally in the day, and 20 hours of fasting. There's then OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. With clue is in the name, but you will just have one normal or slightly larger meal, maybe your evening meal, but you fast for the whole rest of the time. So there are plenty of fasting windows or fasting programs or options that don't require you to go for more than 24 hours, and they all are reported to have good benefits. But then you get to a 24-hour fast, or then what I'm attempting, a 36-hour fast, or longer, 48 hours. I watched a video on a 5-day fast. That is certainly not something I'm aspiring to right now. And given that autophagy is said to kick in from between the 16 to 28-hour mark, I didn't want to go through all of that time of not eating to then be like, oh, I'll just do 24 hours and then I'll eat. Because, well, if I'm going through the harder bit, then I want my body to reap the benefits of that, of getting to that state. So that's why I picked to do a 36-hour fast. And actually, this is helping, because even as I'm talking to you about it, I'm like, yes, that's it. And I've done the hard bit now. But the other reason why I'm really interested in fasting, and to see if this is something that I can manage and I can tolerate and I might build into a longer term plan, is whether or not this might be something that I have in my toolkit to support me if and when I get to the point of coming off Mounjaro and I want to maintain the weight losses that I've achieved. There's so much research that keeps being banded around about people who stop taking Mounjaro and the inevitable weight regain. And I really, really can't bear to think about that. So I'm like, what more could I do? What more might I want to think about now for the future? I'm exercising plenty. I'm feeling really good about my food choices. I've got a very supportive husband. I feel like I'm really set up for success. But if I find that actually just naturally coming off Mounjaro in the future and not having that GLP-1 and GIP medication in my system makes things so much harder, using any of the types of approaches to fasting might help to maintain the weight loss. I could be wrong, but I'm expecting a bit of waves here. I'm expecting a bit of moments where either I feel particularly hungry or the doubt creeps in, and then I'm expecting moments where I feel good again. We'll see. I could be completely wrong about that. But I think what I'm going to do is enjoy those moments where I'm feeling really good and just take things easy, watch some TV, catch up on YouTube stuff, and then when I'm really kind of feeling like I'm struggling or like the hunger or my brain is just nagging away, I think I'll just distract myself. I'll do some housework, I'll get onto some editing, I'll do whatever it can be, I'll go for a walk. I think the easiest bit of a fast is now done, and having a bit of a strategy and having a bit of a, okay, we can do this and this is how we're going to do it. So enjoy the peaceful moments and distract myself from the challenging moments. And eventually it'll be time to go to bed, and then I'm just going to have to sleep through until the morning when I can then break my fast. The temptation right now, honestly, you could not make this up. So my husband, Dave, has been away since yesterday. He's coming back later this evening, which is great. I'm looking forward to him coming home. We've got a weekend off together, so that'll be nice. But he was due to get back a bit later this evening, which was, again, partly where I was like, oh, I'll do the 36-hour fast around kind of sleeping and when he's away. So then tomorrow morning, I'll wake up fresh, carry on. Because I thought if he was here and he was eating, and he is definitely not going to do a fast, then it would just be even more challenging. It's one of those things that I think is much easier to do when you are almost away from that temptation. In the same way that I have not made any plans during this fast to go to the shops. Like, why put yourself in that situation? If it's completely unavoidable, then so be it. But for me, I've been able to just plan ahead, minimise those temptations, and I think that's helping so far. Until Dave messaged and said, oh, I'm going to be back a bit earlier, which is great, and that he was planning to pick up a McDonald's on the way home for his dinner. To his credit, and in all fairness, he did immediately, once I said about me doing the fast, say, well, do you want me to eat it before I come home? And I was like, no, it's okay. But I did say, if I'm in bed, maybe don't bring the Big Mac up with you. But I haven't really craved a lot of fast foods very often. Occasionally on Mounjaro I will fancy that kind of fatty processed food, being completely honest about it. But for the most part I haven't craved it. And I wonder if it's because right now, nearly 24 hours since eating anything, actually the thought of any food sounds more appealing. So for me, this is a perfect time to stop what I'm doing, go and do some housework, just distract myself for 20 minutes, half an hour, and see if I can ride out this wave, because I didn't expect it. Did not expect McDonald's to be my undoing. It's fine. I can do this. I can do it. I've got this. Harper's had his dinner. I'm very jealous. Although, interestingly, and I think this is genuine, I don't think this is just psychosomatic or in my head. For the last few hours now, I feel like my sense of smell, in particular, is very, very strong. As I was getting his dog food, which doesn't normally smell, or I don't normally notice it, as I scooped it out, I got a big whiff and I was like, oh, yeah. Thankfully, it didn't smell appetizing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's just that my senses are clearer. I suppose maybe in the same way that if you've eaten loads of rubbish and you eat something that's healthier, I feel like you can taste the health. You eat something fresh and you're just wow, this is amazing. So maybe it's along those lines. Maybe it is all my senses being a bit more heightened. Maybe it's just my sense of smell, because my body is desperately trying to hunt for a morsel of food. But I have got another Vidrate electrolytes in my water now, because I feel like I was getting a slight headache. Not a big one, but a slight one. And I've also got a peppermint tea bag out and ready on the side, because I thought I might want that in a bit. And I thought I'll get it out now rather than later, because there are biscuits in that cupboard. And the longer I leave it, the more... I'll be so annoyed. I'll be so annoyed if I went in there to get a blooming tea bag and then a biscuit just fell into my mouth. It would be the worst thing ever. I just got out of the shower, thought I'd avoid exposing too much of myself on the internet. And but yeah, sense of smell is definitely ramped up. And in the bathroom, having the shower gel, the face wash, the hand soap, the moisturiser, all of the smells just really ramped up. Did not expect that. But I've had a very quick look online, and other people do report that as being quite common, so I'm not worried. But either I missed it, or it didn't come up in any of the reading or research that I looked at before starting this fast. Sense of smell is just very, very strong. I don't know if other senses would become heightened during a fasting, but I wonder if it is a biological thing of like increasing your senses so you can hunt or gather, to find food. Maybe I'm going to have like laser sight by the end of this, by tomorrow morning. I don't know, but yeah, very strong sense of smell. And I feel like you can probably tell, but I'm doing really well at the minute. I'm doing very well. I feel like the challenges around the 24-hour mark have long gone, and now it is 8:30, which means I've only got like an hour and a half to 2 hours before I go to sleep. I'm going to start to wind down for the day now, and then sleep through the night, waking up tomorrow ready to break my fast. So there we go, that's 36 hours done and dusted. It's just gone 7 a.m. In fact, more than 36 hours, a whole 8 minutes extra. But yeah, I woke up this morning feeling fine. I slept well and have got no issues. It is very early, so let me have a coffee, get ready for the day, and then I will give you my thoughts and some things that I've kind of observed along the way, and answer whether or not I think fasting could be a tool in my little toolbox to support me in the long term. Okay, so I'm all showered, fresh, good for the weekend. So let's catch up, recap, and I'll tell you my thoughts, my initial reflections on my first ever fast and how it's went. Interestingly, in terms of energy levels, I did think that this morning going to spin might be pushing it and I might struggle. But in fact, it was quite the opposite, way much better than I'd expected. So I actually felt like I was really clear and had loads of energy and was just like grinding through the whole class. Like it was possibly one of the best exercise classes I've had in a long, long time. And I don't know if there's anything else different other than the fact I was doing it on the back of a 36-hour fast. So that is certainly something that I'm interested in. Whether or not I cleared my body and so I was kind of burning different fuels more efficiently, I don't know. All I know is I had a really good class and I really enjoyed it. Since then I've obviously come back, I've had a shower, I'm ready for the weekend, and I've had my lunch. So whilst I had a coffee this morning with some milk and that would have strictly broken my fast, it wasn't until midday, until I had my lunch, if I actually had anything solid to eat. So it wasn't like I woke up this morning, got to that 36-hour mark and was like ravenously hungry and desperately needed to stuff my face with something. Like, I think I could have even gone on for longer, but I had said to myself I didn't want to get carried away. This is my first time trying any sort of extended water fast. So doing the 36 hours I am very, very happy with. And overall it's gone a lot better than I was expecting, if I'm honest with you. So I know that I've been sharing my weight loss journey along all of this time, so I will share with you that I weighed myself on the Thursday morning. So I didn't weigh immediately before starting my fast, but I weighed Thursday morning. I weighed this morning, and over the course of about 2 days, of which one whole day was fasted, I have lost 1.8 pounds. Not really that surprising. Like, I have been burning more calories than I've been taking in, that's for sure. I've been exercising and I have not physically put any food into me, so there's less inside of me to show up on the scales. Doing this fast wasn't about weight loss for me, it wasn't. In the future, it might be a tool that I have, and I know I keep saying, this might be something that I then just have and know I can refer back to and maybe pick up and try again down the line. But for this time, I just wanted to see how it would feel, how I could go about it, whilst having the benefits of Mounjaro in my system right now. One thing that didn't happen at all during my fast, and still has yet to happen now, is any toilet movements. Like, I've been drinking so much fluids and I've been weeing a lot, but that's all that's been happening. I'm sure things will get back to normal soon, I seriously hope so, but interesting to me that, okay, I've done 36 hours of fasting, but before that, I'd had lunch, I'd had my dinner on Thursday evening, and none of that has yet worked its way through completely. I don't feel overly bloated. I don't feel like my stomach's particularly compacted or anything. If anything, I'm feeling like quite trim and quite good. But apart from that, things have gone really well. Certainly I think for me and for my first time, starting when I did 7 p.m. So having my normal food on a Thursday and then starting to fast after that from 7 p.m. and then sleeping through and then doing 1 full day of fasting and then sleeping through again to then wake up this morning to be able to break my fast at a reasonable hour worked really well. And it's just about being smart, I guess, isn't it? Because every hour of fasting counts no matter when you're doing it. But why start at midday and then have to kind of go through 2 days of not eating lunches and dinners and stuff? No. That was quite enough. It was quite enough as I did. Apart from what I've already mentioned in terms of like my physical, like anything noticeable, no. I've not had, I was expecting to maybe have some like horrible breath and like ketosis breath stuff. None of that, which is nice and a relief, and I'm sure Dave appreciates it as well. I'm just quite up in my mood. Whether or not that's just because I've completed a challenge I'd set for myself, so I feel happy about it, or whether or not that's because my body has gone through that stage of fasting and is in a better place afterwards, I don't know. But either way, I'm feeling very upbeat. I'm feeling very good. I feel like my skin and my energy is fine. I've got no concerns. So having done this fast, there is definitely nothing about it that makes me say I would never do that again. None of this is me recommending it to you, however. I think I've been really clear. This is like something that I'm trying for myself. I will put links in the description to any of the videos or articles or things that I read that have supported me to make the decision to try this, so that you can either go and read it for yourself if you are interested, or you can consider it. I'm expecting there may be some comments already on the video with people saying, oh, this is dangerous, it shouldn't be encouraged, it's, you know, all the rest of it. Like, day to day, I still eat a very healthy amount of calories to support me with losing weight whilst having the energy to function, to live, to be healthy. I'm not for 1 second saying that, you know, it's all about cutting your calories to the lowest you possibly can just to get by. The more and more research that comes out about people's weight loss and life after Mounjaro, the more and more I am thinking, okay, right now, my diet is okay. I've got things in check. My exercise, my healthy way of living, I'm feeling good in myself. But even still, take that Mounjaro away and will things all topple down as they have done in the past? And so maybe, just maybe, fasting might be part of that solution for me, so that when I do get to that point down the line, if I do find myself starting to struggle with food noise or with sugar addiction or any of those things, maybe, just maybe, fasting will be something that I will pick back up and do as a way of kind of doing a bit of a reset. I don't know. But there we go, my first 36-hour fast done. I'm looking forward to a weekend of eating normally. I don't actually feel the need to go out and like overeat because I didn't eat yesterday. Lunch today was a protein bagel with some ham, some mozzarella, some lettuce. It was all counted and it was delicious and I really enjoyed it. Dinner tonight is going to be the chicken Caesar salad. Of course it's going to be the chicken Caesar salad. It is my new identity. Could I be sponsored by a chicken Caesar salad kit, do you think? So if I decide to do any future fasting, I will be honest about it. I will mention it in videos, mainly because I don't want people to be speculating constantly. Like, you know, if I lose 3 pounds in the next week, I don't want people to be like, oh, he's obviously starving himself again. That's not what I really hope people don't think that. But I will be honest with you if and when I decide to do any fasting. It definitely isn't anything that I'm planning to do anytime soon, but I feel like we've got to that point now where you can trust that I'm going to be honest with you about it. There we go, a slightly different video for the last few days. Not quite a what I ate in a day. I guess it was a what I ate in a day. Sugar-free squash and some electrolytes. But there we go, all done and dusted. Time to crack on with my weekend. I hope you are having a very good weekend as well. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye everyone.